All right, guys, welcome back to another weekly live session here at the Land Flipping Formula, brought to you by the Land Investing Pros, Paul and Willie. I'm Abdel, and of course, your host. And typically for the live sessions, I have either someone with me, but today I wanted to talk about how much work goes into the land acquisition, actually acquiring a property. So I want to go kind of step by step, what it takes, how much it costs, and pretty much the labor that goes into it, and the tools that I use, and spending for each of these tools. And I mean, I'll jump right into it. But first, before I jump right in, I got to give a huge shout out to one of my very new students. His name is Austin Wise. Welcome to the Land Investing Pros. Just recently sent out his letter campaign about 3 weeks ago, and then it hit the market about a week ago. And he got just this week, he got a text message with a picture of one of his offers signed and ready to go pretty much right then and there. So first week, where in his first letter campaign, and he got an accepted offer, signed and ready to go for him to close on it. So really excited for you, my man. Hopefully you can get that closed really soon and be able to sell it within the next month, and you'll be pretty much one of my fastest students out there. But great job as well. So, I mean, if you're watching this, guys, comment live. Let me know you're out there. And if you have any questions, ask away. I will answer any questions that you have. I will make sure that I do my best on those. I don't want to, perjure myself or like hurt myself on these. But I'll do my best to help you. If you're doing wholesaling, or you are a land investor, if you are scaling your business, leveraging money, borrowing money from others, then let me know what you need help with. I can definitely help you out. Here at the Land Investing Pros, we have a lot of professionals that work with us. Paul has a lot of experience. Willie has a lot of experience, and Aaron as well. And David as well, as a financial person. I don't even know what to call David, but we know that we can help you for sure. Now, guys, I want to jump into how much work goes into this, and I just got a question. Let me question right here. Okay, are you getting lists and sending marketing letters? Yes. That's a really quick answer. Yes. So I am downloading lists of owners in a specific area, and I am sending letters, and I will speak up on that more as I get on here. But thank you, Facebook user. I don't have the names popped up here yet. But pretty much what I'll do in the very beginning of let's say I'm starting off fresh, you're brand new to the land investing world, what I'll do is I'll do a market analysis. So I'll use tools like Zillow, which is free. I'll get on Zillow and I'll look at specific areas. Like, for example, hot areas right now are Florida, Texas, Arizona, California too, but it's a little more pricey. And these are not like hidden. It's actually pretty well known that these are hot areas. I got another question here. Do you run online advertising campaigns like Facebook to acquire leads? Yes. However, when I first started out, I just used Facebook Marketplace and it worked like a charm. Now that I'm scaled, yeah, sometimes I use ad campaigns, and I know Aaron, one of our land investing pros, he uses that. Willie definitely uses that, and all kinds of advertisements for that as well, either on Google or on Facebook. What percentage of market value are you selling your properties for cash? Really good question. Let me answer this as I finish this. Really good questions, guys. So I'll leave this up, but I'll continue with what I was saying. Pretty much what I'm looking for in the market analysis when I'm looking on Zillow or any of those places like landwatch.com or so on, I'm looking for 20 to 30% of the market value. That's where I'm trying to buy my property at. So I'm trying to analyze a market that will allow me to purchase properties at that. I will look at my specific criteria. So on Zillow, you'll have specific pricing. You can set the price, the size, the amount of time that it's been on Zillow, and so on, how long ago it sold, right? And I'll use that to be able to find the pricing that I want, right? And typically I'll use the price that I want to sell at. So sometimes I sell at 3 times, 4 times, sometimes 5 times, 6 times. It depends on the property and depends largely on the market area that I'm in. For example, in Florida, it sells fast, but most of the time it's like 4 times or 5 times the purchase price. So what I bought it for. Hopefully that answers your question a little better. But typically that's what I'm looking for when I'm doing a market analysis. I'm trying to find those areas that allow me to buy property at 20 to 30%. And they're of course off market. I'm trying to find those people who are either out of state or they just inherited these properties and they don't want them anymore. They don't want to pay taxes. Maybe they are tax delinquent and they're just trying to get rid of them and have somebody cover their taxes. That's a really good way to go about it. Sometimes you'll run into something that is actually on auction, and you can find that through the county websites. So whatever county you're in, you can actually go and find that out in the county website. You can call the county and figure out more on that as well. So definitely do your research when you're doing a market analysis. You want to spend at least, for me now, in my scale business, it takes about 30 minutes, maybe 15 minutes if I've already been in this area before. Typically, I will stay in one county for about 6 months or more. Heck, Aaron, I know Willie, they stay there. They've been in their same areas for years. And because they've been there for years, they know the market, they know the price points, and they're able to hit higher margins on their sales because of that. So that's another tip for you. Stick around, okay? Learn your market. Don't spread yourself so thin and start over in a new market. You're gonna have to learn the price points. You're gonna have to learn the people too. The demographics are different, and the selling points when you're trying to sell are different. So you're not just thinking about acquiring. You gotta also think how am I going to market this property to where I can triple, quadruple, or I don't know what the next part is, but 5 times my purchase price, right? That's what I wanna market at. So that's pretty much what goes into a market analysis. What I do once I have an area and a specific area, and I'll go specifically into a specific part of the county. I won't mail out to a whole county per se. I won't send out like 10,000 letters. That's crazy. Price points vary from one side of the county to another. Heck, they vary from one block to the next. So you definitely want to look at those specific hot markets within the county. So don't send out like a ton of letters. You can, and it might be effective in some areas, but hot markets like Florida, it won't work as easily. And I speak from experience. I mean, I've hit multiple price points, and people have said yes right away because my price offer was set exactly at the market value. So it wasn't at 20 to 30%. So I've done that in the past. You definitely want to buy property for cheap so you can actually make a profit on it, and maybe even more if you can market well. All right. With the downloading listings, and just going back to what this question was. So I do get lists. I use Agent Pro 24/7. It's pretty cheap. It's about $50 for 500 listings, so owners. And honestly, it's a really cheap way to go about it. Some people use DataTree. It's a little more expensive, and it's kind of worth it because they don't have Agent Pro doesn't have a delete duplicate signs. So with Agent Pro, you'll get a lot of duplicates. I'm okay with it. I have VAs, virtual assistants, that will go through and click off all the duplicates. So it can be tedious work, but I pay someone else to do it. So it's not a big deal for me. If you're starting out and you're doing it yourself, you might want to look into something else, or just spend the 2 hours that it might take you to look through those duplicates. And I got another question. So when you approach the county to buy tax delinquent properties, can you negotiate the tax delinquent price down, or do you have to start with bid price? You can negotiate down. There's no reason why you can't. If they are tax delinquent, you'll pay that tax delinquent. Whatever is owed on tax, you will definitely have to pay. And then for example, if you reached out and they are tax delinquent, that can be a huge negotiation point for you. To be able to lower the price down, you'll cover the taxes and pay whatever else is needed. but pretty much when it's tax delinquent, you're getting a good deal. You got to understand that land keeps going up in value, so because it's so scarce, especially in hot markets like Florida or Texas. um, just because they're developing so fast, they're growing, then property then becomes really valuable, and not just because it's scarce, but because it's very much needed in terms for developers, builders, random people who just want to put their trailer there or whatever. For whatever reason, people want land, and there's a lot of people who want land out there. Um, so, like I said, I use Agent Pro 24/7. It's really easy to use, honestly. Um, I think in the first part, it took me about an hour to figure it out and learn actually how to meet my criteria for the specific properties that I wanted to reach out. That's what you'll have to do in Agent Pro so that you can get a good listing, a very accurate listing of the type of owners that you're trying to mail out to. I send a letter with the purchase agreement in the letter and an offer already. And I'll actually use my market analysis like Zillow and all those tools. I'll use those to set a price for my offer at 20 to 30% the projected market value, right? So real quick, um, one thing you should know is when I say projected, I'm talking about what it's going to be at, what the market value is, what it's moving towards, because markets shift, price keep going up. So you have to think on that, before you send out your letter campaign and you set a price offer. Got another question here. Do you work with land realtors to acquire land? I don't. Simple answer for that. I take care of all my deals personally. Right now, I am looking to hire someone to do my sales. Um, and for acquisition, typically I use a mobile notary. Mobile notaries are really easy to hire. Typically, there is at least one in each county, and you can use them. They're actually really cheap. So this way, you don't have to use a title company or get insurance. For small deals, you don't really need to use a title company. But for bigger deals, when it's like $50,000 and it's a huge acre lot, then definitely use a title company and pay what it's due. But most of the time, if it's $50,000, you should be able to sell it at least at 150K, right? So just letting you know that. So yeah, I would use a mobile notary. But before I even do that, before I even choose to a mobile notary in the county, I'll do my due diligence. So I'll download the listings. I use a mailing company like letterprinting.net. I think there's another one called Owner to Owners, but I'm not sure if it's still on, if it's still an actual company, but I've heard a lot about them. Letterprinting.com is what I use. Letterprinting.net actually is what I use, and it's actually pretty cheap. It's like 60 cents or something like that per letter. So if you're sending out 300 letters, 500 letters, it's not that bad. You're looking at spending about $1,000 a month on letter campaigns if you're sending out, at least 1,500. 1,500. That's what you should be sending out, honestly, if you're just starting out. And you're welcome, Giovanna. I appreciate all the questions. Let me know if you have more. But for let me get my thoughts back. Yeah, for once I use a letter printing company, pretty much I'm just sending them out. And I guess I skipped one part, scrubbing letters. That's the tedious part. Once you downloaded your listings of owners, you'll want to scrub out all the information that you don't need. So, for example, like lots numbers and such, you don't really need all that stuff, or last sale date. You won't necessarily need it for the letter printing company. You might want to keep those for yourself. So what I'll do is I'll download a whole Excel sheet of 500, 1,000, sometimes 5,000 owners, and scrub them out by columns in Excel. All the information that I don't need, I'll take out and I'll leave it in another Excel sheet or a secondary sheet. And then all the information that I need, that the letter printing company needs, will be on this Excel sheet, and they'll use it to send out your letter campaigns. So basically, you'll have a written out template for your purchase agreement for the letter that you want to send out, and you'll use some coding there to sort out the information that you need from Excel. Letter printing companies are really good about this, so it's definitely worth the expense. Agent, so I said Agent Pro 24/7 to download the listings of owners, not to necessarily find properties, but yeah, to mail out to people in those properties, to owners that meet my specific criteria based on my market analysis. I want to make sure that doesn't get lost in translation there, for people who are just now jumping in. Now, I mean, once you scrubbed out your letter, that's literally the end of it. That's the one. Sending out letters is your main bulk of work and expense. That's literally gonna be the highest expense, because letter printing companies can be kind of expensive, but it's worth it, definitely, because like I said, with Austin, he just sent out, I'm not sure how many he sent out. It was like maybe 1,000 or so, and he got one right away in his first week. One person already signed it, didn't even call him. They just exchanged text messages, and the guy just texted him a picture of the signed purchase agreement. And that does happen a lot. So you don't have to worry too much about what people will say. If they reject the offer letter, it doesn't even matter. You only need like one or two people to really be able to return on your investment. Because honestly, most of these properties that you are going to buy, you're going to make a profit of more than 5K if you're buying in the right area. Literally, you can double your money. In a bad deal, you'll double your money. So just a heads up. There's not much to be scared about. I understand that it's kind of scary. I was there, when I started out buying properties for $300, $500, and trying to sell them at $1,200. I was definitely scared. Now, my business partner, myself, and Willie and Paul, we all buy properties ranging from 5,000 to 25,000 or more, and it's good money. We sell up to 120. I know Willie still has tons of properties in California and in Florida that are selling for 12,000 that he acquired for like 2,000. So properties like that are definitely available for you. You just have to know how to do your market analysis and know how to price your offers. Everything else is just tedious work. All right. Once you've acquired the property, it will sell. It will sell, definitely. Everything sells, and you just have to be patient. You might hold the property for 2-3 months, tops 6 months, but if you do your marketing right, it'll sell. And even if you do your marketing wrong, it'll sell. And it'll sell for at least double. If you just name your price, somebody's gonna buy it for sure. And that's what I've learned so far. And honestly, anyone can tell you that. Anyone who is seasoned in the land business can tell you that it's pretty hard to get it wrong once you have a property, because there's a lot of people out there who are really desperate to get property, or are really trying to develop something, build something, or for example, in Arizona, they're just trying to camp out there, put their camper out. For whatever reason, they're buying. So buy property, sell it for more. That's my go-to. So once you get your letters sent out, you'll get a call or text message or whatever, right, from all these owners. And maybe you'll get, for every 500, you should be able to acquire at least two, maybe one, but I would say two if you did it right. 2, 3. One time I got like 4 from just 341 letters. I keep that in my mind just because I know it's possible now. And just as long as you do your market analysis right, you're going to be able to, because it is a numbers game, you're going to be able to play the numbers in your favor. And that's why you have to send out so many a month or a week. But you do your market analysis to be able to have those numbers work in your favor. Hopefully that makes sense to you, but business is pretty much a numbers game. And then the rest comes to marketing and patience. But once you get a call back from those owners, you want to be quick with them. You want to know if they are ready to buy, or ready to sell their property. If they are, then you don't want to negotiate there. You want to investigate more on this property, because you don't know. You just sent out a barrage of letters. You don't know what this property really is, or what it has, if it has utilities, where it is, and you don't even know if it has, like, the taxes are current, or if the person that you're talking to, if they're the person on the title. You don't know much. So what you'll do on that first call, on the first contact with that person, is ask them, hey, you ready? Are you accepting the offer or rejecting the offer? Pretty much just straightforward, telling them, getting to the point, right? If they are accepting your offer, then great. If they're trying to negotiate, then great. If they're not, then screw them. Just move on. Not to be rude, but yeah, just move on. But once they accept it, or they want to negotiate, if they're interested, you'll want to let them know, hey, I need to investigate more on this property. I sent out this offer, but I want to make sure that the pricing is right. I want to make sure that the taxes are due, that our taxes are paid, and so on. Whatever information you need to find out. In fact, you don't even have to tell them much. It's like, you just got to let them know that you want to do more investigating on the property, and that you'll call them back. Either I would definitely call them back that same day, if not the next day, but as soon as possible. So you'll do your due diligence. You'll investigate. You'll want to look at the county website, find more information on this. Look at in the county website, you'll be able to find all the information you need. You don't need to pay anyone for any information. Everything is online on the county website. So you'll get the copy of the deed. You'll see if their name is on it, whoever else is on the deed, if it's an LLC deed or a trust, what type of deed it is, like a warranty, quick claim, whatever it is, you'll be able to find that out. Now, once you have that information out, you'll be able to, act accordingly. If it's an LLC, you'll need different information. If it's a trust, you'll definitely need different information. You'll have to call the county, see if you need a change of ownership form, and all these things that come into play. I did do a video about due diligence a while back ago, so it's a due diligence video. If you want to check it out, if you're on YouTube, you should be able to just search it out in the YouTube channel. If you're on the Land Flipping Formula Facebook group, it should be in the guides, under the guides. If you're not in the Land Flipping Formula Facebook group, go ahead and join. I will accept you in. I am the admin and the coach for the coaching program there, so we're good. You can definitely join us. We do this live every week, and it'll, you'll be able to figure out more information as you go, as you're starting your land investing journey. I think I went on a huge tangent there. You'll want to do your due diligence, right? Usually it takes me about 30 minutes, depending on the type of property that it is. Sometimes it's 15, but my VAs typically take about 30 minutes to figure out everything. Once they have everything lined out, once I know all the documents that I need, if, for example, if the person is dead, a death certificate might be needed, stuff like that, that you'll need to find out. Once I have all my ducks in a row, I'll then call the person and let them know, hey, this is what I think your property is worth. If it's below the offer that I made, I'll explain why I think that is. If it's above the offer that I made, I won't move my offer. I'll let them decide that, and let them say, yeah, I think it's worth more. And then we'll negotiate from there. But at least when I sent out my offer, I know that that's the pinpoint where we're starting from, and we won't go too far from the starting offer, which is already placed at 20 to 30% the market value. So I'm already at an advantage. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. With that being said, once you negotiate and settle on a price, then you'll hire a mobile notary in the county of the owner, and have them meet with the documents. So you'll send that information over to the mobile notary. they'll meet with the person, with the owner, and they'll sign it. You'll send the mobile notary as well, the check for the owner, the check for the mobile notary, and the check for the recording fees, because the county will have some recording fees. You want to make sure that is the correct county recording fees, because sometimes they can put the wrong pricing on the website. So make sure to call in for that. So you'll send them all the documents that you need: a drafting deed, a change of ownership form if it's needed. You can call the county to make sure if it's needed. And then the checks that belong to each corresponding personnel. So, for example, the mobile notary, the owner, and the county recording office. So you'll send those different checks out. Once that's done, I mean, it's pretty much, you're just waiting for those documents to get recorded. Once they're recorded in the county recording office, you can download them from the county. You can also just call the county and see if they can send you them, give you a copy of it. But for the most part, you'll be able to see them there. If they're not listed there, then definitely call the county office and let them know about that. But pretty much once you have that in hand, you're ready to sell. You're definitely ready to put this, and I would use Facebook Marketplace and Zillow to start off. If you don't have many properties to sell, then I wouldn't do anything else besides just Facebook Marketplace and Zillow, and maybe joining a few Facebook groups that sell land, and then try to advertise there. And that's pretty much it for the land acquisition. That's what's required. It takes about 3 to 5 days, depending. If you're using a title company, then it's really up to the title company how long they take on closing your deal. Sometimes they take a month, sometimes 2, and that's why I don't like working with them, and they cost a lot more. So I'm not too fond of using title companies. But if it's necessary and I'm making more money than that, then there's no choice. I gotta use a title company, right? So protect yourself. Make sure that you do things right. If you do have to use a title company, definitely use the title company, because you do want to be safe about it. You can definitely get in legal trouble if you're doing this wrong. All right. Well, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, I will let you guys know. I'll leave it up for you guys right now to ask me any questions. If not, for you guys watching this live, comment live, and for those guys that are watching in the future, comment replay. If you would like to know more information about the course or the coaching that we do, email me or message me on Facebook. You can email me if you're on YouTube. The email is at the bottom of the description of this video. But that pretty much wraps it up for us here at the Land Flipping Formula. And make sure that you like and subscribe. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and like this video, send any comments. I will come back if you ask any questions in the comments after the video. So just type replay and your question, and I'll be able to get to you. Yeah. Anyways, guys, take care. Hope you have a great one. This is Adil.